Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around me. Yes, love is around me, and I know it right now. My name is Rickie Byars, and joining me, no, it's not. Oh, boy. Good evening, good night, good morning, good day, and good you. Thank you for tuning in to yourself first, and then tuning into Soul Fulfilling with Rickie Byars and yours truly, Ade Anifowoshe. Rickie's not here today, so I don't have my piano, so don't look for all of that. But I've got backup, so just trust. And we got some technical stuff going on, but we're working it out. We're figuring it out. I got some wonderful friends joining me. Thank you all for being in here. And so go ahead and share the show. I feel like my video is a little bit slow. We've been having some issues, so we're just going to lay hands on the computer. Send high vibes, high vibration. Marion, nice to see you. Lori is here. Lori, where's Chef Lori? You can't come in there without Chef Lori now. Come on. And Rickie is in the house. Hey, Rickie. Laverne is in the house. So we're just trying to work some things out in the back. And then I'm going to bring on our guest. If you didn't know, that's Chef Lori. Good evening. Rickie's in the house too, so you can say hello to Rickie. She's the angel watching over everything right now. Hey Marion, nice to see you. I am so excited to be here. We got a great show planned for you. And let's see. Rashid, when you're ready, give me the thumbs up. Well, I just gave away who's joining me, right? Because some of you probably didn't read the description. It's like, it's so fulfilling. I don't care who is there. I'm just going to show up. That's what we do. Because wherever you are, God is. So whoever's here is in alignment with God. Yes, we are live, Rickie. I've been sweating bullets. It's like, whoo, Lord. So let me tell you who's joined me today. I have Lona Alias, and she is a life coach, a stress manager, and breathologist. So, we may do some breath work or not. And then also, trustfully, we'll be able to get my brother, Rashid Lanie. He's going to join us as a composer, as a pianist, and an activist, and so much more with a big heart. So you got three of us. So let me go ahead and bring in Lona. And Rashid, give him a thumb up when you're ready. Okay? Give me a thumbs up. Because right now it looks like you're not ready yet. Lona, welcome. Welcome to the House of Love. How are you doing?
It's my pleasure to be here. I'm great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
wonderful.
Hear you.
Take the glasses on.
How's everyone? How are you doing?
I'm really honored, and I feel great this evening. And I was singing with you the song, Let Me Love, in a holy, holy way. I'm awfully glad to be here. And so I'll stop with that and allow you to move forward with the show.
No, it's fine, because,
I was just going to say I'm a producer and on-air host of Spirit of Jazz, which is on Pacifica Radio in Washington, D.C., WPFW Washington is the name of the show. It's 89.3 FM, and it's part of the Pacifica Network. Anyway, I'm on Sunday mornings called The Spirit of Jazz, which is an exploration of spirit, and I sing in all of her fabulous hues. So that's the other thing. You can catch me there.
Yep. Also. Perfect. And look, Rickie said, you're a genius. There's a genie in us, and you're a representation of the genie that's in all of us.
I love that. Yeah, I just recently owned that I was a genius. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Because, we are that, but sometimes it takes us a while to own the genie in us. So we can just rub ourselves and call forth what we need. So to say more about that.
Well, I guess I've seen entrepreneurs in my family, And I made up my mind that I wanted to be an artist. And in deciding to be an artist, my mom knew that we needed to have skills that we could take with us. Anyway, the bottom line in terms of how I found out I was a genius, that I had all these opportunities. Like I'm a life coach, I'm a breathologist, I've studied acupuncture, I'm a certified acupuncturist, and life kept bringing me all these opportunities to learn these different things. And here's how the genius came in. Everything that was given to my hands to do, I excelled at. So it's like, what am I going to be when I grow up? Because I keep doing all these things and I'm excelling at all of them. And so like my family was like, you need to do one thing. What is it that you're going to do? And I was in a quandary because I do all these other things, and everything that came to me, I loved it. It was like, this is the thing for me because I love it. And then I would excel at it, like, beyond anybody's expectations, beyond my expectations. And so with the negative feedback of like, well, what do you really want to be? It's like all of it. And then I just resigned myself. The reason that I excelled at everything is because I'm a genius. It is the genie in me that allowed my soul and my spirit to be open, to have the acumen, whatever it was, I could grasp it and stuff like that. And I just said, hey, it's the God in me. And so I said, hey, I just realized all this time, I'm a genius, and I just resign and I accept that. And I feel at peace and no longer feeling the need to define and to limit me into being in just one box. It's like I'm all of that. Yes. I'm all that God is, and that is genius. And so, yeah, that's my realization recently.
You're all that God is, and that is enough because God is enough. Woo! I like what I just did there, even if I say so myself.
Yes, okay. Yes, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it too.
Rashid on. Rashid.
Hey.
I'm a fan, Rashid. I'm a fan.
Hi, Lona. Hi, Ade, and hi, everybody that's on the live stream. Hi, RickieBb, wherever you are. Anyway, so I'm so grateful to be part of this live stream, Ade, and Rickie, and thanks for making all of this possible. So I'm happy to go on the journey for the rest of the hour that we're going to be together.
Yes, it is definitely a journey because it's actually been, stuff is happening and we're working with it and dancing with it. So, Rashid, you're a composer, you're a musician, you're an activist, you're a downloader of truth, and there's so much more to you. I know that. So, before you came on, I know you heard the conversation. We're talking about being a genius. How does that hit you when you hear that?
Yeah, I think of a genie. I'm a genie, and I allow the magic to express itself through me. And whenever I surrender more of the magic reveals itself. And in that fashion, I'm so happy to be a genie. Yes.
I'm loving this.
This is a part where we could say, "Oh, I feel the music coming on." So basically, what we're talking about. So I need to move my piano closer to me on my keyboard. Computer, hold on one second. This is where we, it's a good segue because one of the songs we want to play is "In What I Came to Do." And because really, I really believe it's this idea that, we all have unique, I say we're a unique cell that's here to express a certain mission and a cell in the human body. And every one of us, even though we spend time trying to figure it out, I think we try and figure it out because we're so close to it. We don't even know it or appreciate it until we own it, that who I am is enough. So we're going to do a quick musical break. That's going to be different because there's no Rickie here. It's just sound. There's no video. And remember now, this is video and audio. So you have to kind of maybe sway. Hey, it was a live recording.
I know I'll do better what's mine to do. I know I'll do better doing what's mine to do. And when I look inside of me, pondering what it means to be free, what it means, I know that I'll do better when I'm doing what I came to do. Oh, I know that I'll be wiser, yeah, doing what's mine to do. Oh, I know I'll be wiser, yeah, doing what's mine to do. When I look inside of pondering what it means to be free, what it means. Oh, I know I'll be wiser, yeah, doing what I came to do. Oh, I know I'll be more useful doing what I came to do. I know I'll be more useful doing what I came to do. When I look inside of me and I'm pondering what it means to be free, what it means, I know I'll be more useful when I'm doing what I came to do. I know I'll be inspired doing what's mine. What about you, son? I know I'll be so inspired when I'm doing what I came to do. When I look inside of when I look inside what it means to be free, what it means, I know, I think she said inspired when I'm doing what I can. Ooh, yeah. Come on now. What it means. Doing what I can.
Okay. I don't know what just happened. The music just disappeared. Hello, we're back.
Hello?
That was beautiful.
Yes, I was rocking to that guitar. So let's talk about that. I want to ask you a question. So, we were talking just before the song and how we struggle with our gift, trying to discover who we are, what we are. And I was saying about how we are what we are looking for. But somehow we go through life trying to figure out what that is. I'm going to start with you, Lona. You touched on it.
Okay.
Tell us about the time when you were looking for the genie in you. What was that process like? And what brought you to a place where you started to say, wait a minute, I think I got something to offer here?
Well, I've always been an overachiever. However, and this is like, I'm going to go on and put it out. It was never enough.
Mm-hmm.
It was never enough. It was like, you have no right to be excited about that. Sit down, be quiet. Don't be boastful. What are you celebrating about? Okay, so what? So what you got straight A's? So what? Sit down, get in a corner, big deal, shut up. And then other people would get, in my family, we get praise for less than that. That's not really what your question was. So I struggle with recognizing and accepting excellence and owning it in my personality. I struggle with that. And so so that was a challenge of knowing what was mine to do, because I loved everything that was given to me, and I guess in a way didn't trust what was in my heart, that it was good enough, even when I had excelled, because of the feedback that I was getting. So take a breath here, because I feel stuff coming up as I share that, that I realized that it's still a journey. Like I said, I just recently realized, well, Dad, all this time, because I'm a genius, I'm excelling at everything that is given to me to do because of the genie in me, and it's in all of us. So it's a continuing journey for me. I overachieved to get acceptance. I overachieved to be in the room. I overachieved so that it didn't matter whatever it was. If they looked at it and I did it, it was better than anybody else, and it still wasn't enough. And so because of that, as a child, it became a thing in me, and just it's about doing the spiritual work. It's about meditating. It's about becoming clearer that I have a personality and that I'm not the personality. It's developing a habit and a practice of being still and disconnecting myself from my personality, and recognizing that they are two, and that I am the author, and that my personality is an automatic thing that has been from all the stuff that's been put into me, and that it is my vehicle to train and to program. And it's through spiritual culture, through practices, and being in communion with people who recognize that we're not the body, that we're not the personality, that we're not the things that we have, that we are something greater that cannot be perceived with our senses, with our eyes and stuff like that, and nurturing that, and through that, through empowering the inner me, I'm able to inform the flesh of the genie in us.
That's right. Rashid, what about you? What was it like to get to this place where you recognize that there is magic, there's a genie in you? What was the process like from the beginning? Well, not necessarily the beginning, but the point when you kind of recognize, like, okay, maybe you were looking for that genie, and that process and the time that you were, what was the catalyst to get you on a path to say, wait, I need to go inside?
There were various sort of landmark moments that I felt something really calling me very loudly and strongly inside my being. I couldn't recognize what it was. I would play for hours and practice, and then sometimes my practice would just go into improvisation. I would completely lose myself in my piano and not know where I'm going. And I was so sad that I was never able to actually record those journeys that I was making with the soul and my piano. But nevertheless, when it really became much more clearer and defined was actually at the height of my activism when I was in South Africa, protesting against the apartheid regime in South Africa. I was one of the students that were leading many of the activities during those years, and everything that I thought I was and everything that I was busy with prior to that had just sort of gone by the wayside, because I mean the focus of uprooting and overthrowing the regime, that oppressive regime at the time, became the number one priority. But after doing it,
let me ask you something. That in that moment, what caused you to say, I want to literally fight for freedom, be a part of liberating yourself and people? What caused that for you?
I have to say that, I've had these dreams, these savior, I had the savior complex where I wanted to save things and people beyond me, and I know that came from a previous lifetime, And when I saw, the uprisings taking place, and I heard about the 1976 riots, I heard about, how the special branch, which was our sort of FBI in South Africa, would go into people's homes, shoot and kill people, disappear people, and do all of those kind of things. Something in me just sort of awakened. And I felt that I need to do something. And I happened to be the valedictorian of my school at the time. So people from all over the country, other student bodies were getting in touch with me to join them in the collective to rise up against the regime as students. And it was like something outside. It was like something beyond me, should I say, not outside me, but something beyond me that was sort of pulling me into this environment, the situation of having to save humanity. Because I didn't go into it because I wanted to save black people. I wanted to go in because I wanted to redress the imbalance, the injustice. It was my whole focus was redressing injustices, not only in South Africa, but anywhere in the world. And I've always come from that place. That we are all one, and that whatever's wrong or whatever other human being is wrong, and a part of me is wrong as part of that one. So, that didn't matter what race, what color, because, I grew up in the culture knowing that all of humanity began in Africa. So if humanity began in Africa,
teach.
That consciousness, of the birth of humanity. Surely, even if there was a diaspora or there was a movement of races to other parts of the world, and the environmental conditions affect them, where it changed their skin, hair, eyes, whatever it may be, that they are still representing a fragment of who I am as part of the one. And so it was that part of me that was awakened, that forced me to not even think, but to say yes, I'm going to be part of this. And but at the height of my student activities, being an activist, I came home one day after protesting, rioting, doing all the things that we did to rise up against the government. And I saw my bed. I went into my room and I saw my bed. It was like, oh my God. It was such a sacred feeling that I had, as I felt that it's time for me to just rest my head on my pillow. And as I rested my head on my pillow, right in front of me was my piano. And my piano said, "You are betraying me. You are a traitor." And I thought that was bizarre. Given everything that I was involved in. But I hadn't been practicing, I hadn't been close to my music for months now because of my activities. And I just felt this strong, sort of emotion that I would never be anything but the calling of my soul to be a musician, a creative person, a person that would use music to bring imbalance and to create harmony in whatever I do with music.
You are a genius.
Oh,
you are an absolute genius. I listen to the chords. I listen to music. I'm going to say deeper, but it seems to me it feels deeper in my soul. And some of the runs that you make, some of the counter melodies, it's like you're not just, you're a genius. That's all. You're a genius. I salute the genius in you, Rashid, Lanie. Because, and here's another way too, because it happens every Sunday that you guys are in the B Hood. It happens every single Sunday, and it sometimes happens every single song. And you know what I'm talking about, where you start out with you're just there doing your job, and the next thing you know, you're coming back. And Rickie is saying, I'm just teasing now. Rickie is saying, okay, Rashid, all right, Rashid, come on back to us, come on back, because the spirit takes you. You know what I'm talking about. And it's not just you, it's in the room, it happens in the room every single Sunday in the B Hood. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm looking at the B Hood every Sunday. It's what, from 10 to noon
12
Pacific time, and 1 to 3 Eastern time, because I'm on the East Coast and stuff like that. When I can, I am in the B Hood, and if I'm not there when it's happening, I'm playing it later because it's a good place to be. So yeah, that type of stuff be happening up there too. I see you taking those.
You know, when I listen
journeys
to
in spirit.
Did you say the journeys of spirit?
Yeah, those journeys in spirit.
I love that. Yes, because you know, I see that what we move through and grow through, like you both have shared the stories that it's not enough, it's not enough, enough is not enough, and also fighting for the liberation of humanity, and then finding yourself in a place where your piano is like, you betrayed me. It's like there's a time where we struggle with that thing that we're here to do. We struggle with it and trying to be in the world as well. And I see that when you talk about the journeys of spirit, like the struggles and what we're here to do. I believe, I feel it in my soul, that we're here shining light on the work that was started by our ancestors. So we're the next generation to bring more light to it, to bring more expansion to it. And then the next generation will bring expansion to what we're doing. Sometimes we think, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I feel this way. I can't find my purpose. Sometimes we're echoing an ancestor who couldn't find their way. But if we decide to say, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to make the most of not knowing what I'm doing, that's because then that's acceptance. And in that moment, we create a space for us to be changed, to be transformed. And then, this is good. And then we can pass the gift on. You know,
setting it up.
That was good.
Okay, before you do that, would you answer the question for us about your person in terms of you? How did you?
Thank you for bringing it to me.
Yes, please share that with us.
I'm so glad you brought that to me, because I get in this whole thing that I'm good at asking questions and talking to. For me,
that's why I'm here.
I've always known that there's more to life. From I guess maybe even before I was a teenager, and I've often moved with that nudge. So I've done things that could be. Always been curious. Being risky. I just had this moment flash in my head. I'm so curious about everything that I remember one time my mom was a nurse, and she had a thermometer in one other room, and I took the thermometer, I took it out, and I was wondering what makes the mercury go up and down? So when it's hot, it goes up. Now I didn't know anything about it other than my curiosity. So what I did, I took the thermometer, and I turned. We had the cooker we had was a fire. It was not gas. So I put the thermometer in the fire to see what's going to happen.
Me too.
And I was looking, and next I was like, it's rising to pop. Oh my God. I put the whole thing back in the container. It was dripping. I never told my parents. Never.
Oh my God.
So I've always been curious, and I've made mistakes. But when it comes to this really getting to the place where I was beginning to recognize that inner nudging, when my parents said, do you want to move back to UK? I said yes. When I got to UK, I was here. I kept feeling that there was more. There was more that I want to do. There's something calling me. I didn't have a name for it. I didn't call it spirit. I didn't call it intuition. It's just something. And at the time, I was driving buses in the UK, the double-decker buses. I loved it. I enjoy it. I love driving. But one day I just said, God, I want to do something different. I don't care if I have to start over again. But I can feel it. Like, just show me what I need to do. About, I don't know, maybe less than a year later, I end up in America for the first time. And when I got to America in 1993, September 1993, I just felt like I'm supposed to be there. I was looking at everything in America, the highway, everything was big. my favorite story is going to KFC and my brother buying a whole chicken. Like, you bought a whole chicken? What's wrong with you? That's when they were doing the rotisserie chicken. In the UK, yeah, they didn't really do that. You buy it in parts, in bits, in pieces. But that was fascinating, but there was an inner knowing. And I came back to UK and then eventually moved back to, I'm trying to cut a long story short, moved back to Atlanta. And then someone told me about Hillside International Truth Center. And I remember the first time I got to Hillside International Truth Center and I heard Dr. Barbara teach, I was blown away because what I was hearing from the pulpit were things that I thought of when I was younger. And at that time, I was just calling it positive thinking. So for me, it was just, wow. And then I didn't see it as a spiritual center. I just thought it's a church. And I'm like, wait a minute, how's a church having conversations? Because my awareness, my experience of churches is either there's a reason I went to Hillside, but churches generally, my experience is you go into heaven, and if you do wrong, you go into hell. So I was blown away. And it's after that experience, I kept going. And it's through the teachings and the classes that I realized, wait, I'm here to inspire. I'm here to teach. I'm a storyteller. Well, the storyteller part took a long time because I said I'm not that. But doing the work, going to workshops, it just brought me back to myself. And there's something about when you connect with that thing that you're here to do, you will know it. Now, I'm not going to say that the journey has been easy. And I don't think anybody can say the journey has been easy. But I knew that's what I came here to do, and I've been committed to it ever since. And there's a lot that I've had to sacrifice. We've lost Rashid, and it's a good place to play the music, right? Let's pass it on. We're not gonna play all of it, Rickie. We're just gonna play some of it. Rickie's in the background saying, that's too long. We're not gonna play all of it. But what I recognize is the idea. Actually, I'm gonna fade this down a bit. The idea of when you discover what you're here to do, you literally almost don't have any choice but to pass it on. Because in passing it on is where you get to appreciate it. It gets reflected back to you. We know we have the gift. But when you give it, it multiplies. Okay, so we're going to listen to Georgia.
There's a fire in my heart, burning embers of love. There's a fire in my heart for the God in all creation, a fire in my heart for the God in all creation. Catch this fire, will you burn with its heat? Rise from your ashes and pass it on. Rise from your ashes and pass it on. Sing it, mama. There's a flame in my soul. Come on. Burning embers of peace, with God's vision as my side. Life's a prayer that does not cease. All right, Georgia. There's a flame in my soul for the God in all creation. A flame in my soul for the God in all creation. Will you catch this fire? Will you burn with its heat? Yeah.
from over here going, whoa, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Hallelujah. Sorry. I'm serious. Like, I'm going to start crying. I'm like, you better get me off the mic. I'm starting to cry up in here. I'm like,
that song touches me on such a deep level. And it's so it's funny because I was writing something to do in my spiritual practice around rising from the ashes, and then today when I was downloading the song, I was like, okay, Spirit, the idea of surrendering to the fire, that's the call, because we must dissolve, we must let the old die and get transformed. And it's scary. It's dying. To me, it's like dying in public, dying while you're alive, and trusting that you will rise.
Yep. It's like the zero card in the tarot, according to Waits, which is the Fool. And the Fool has a stick. It's a hobo, obviously, with the stick, a little thing tied to the end of the stick, a little package. And he's blithely looking up at the sky, walking off a cliff into the unknown.
Yes.
Zero.
Yes.
Before the beginning, the zero that contains everything. If you're into numbers, out of the zero comes everything else. And so the Fool, the beginning, where you are unaware of and blithely in love with life, and being able to step off into the unknown with joy.
Yes. Hey, can I just add another segment to the whole genius sort of question that we've been dealing with? One of the reasons I see some people have commented in the chat room that I've been supporting Rickie. Yes, I've been so grateful for many years to be next to Rickie. And to be quite honest, that was the original reason why I actually joined Agape, was because of Rickie. And of course, Michael was incredible in the messages.
All the truth.
And the community and all the other practitioners were all incredible. But truly, Rickie, it's like, I always feel like Rickie's looking into my soul and she's stealing part of my chords,
You know she's listening, right?
So I'm like, oh my God, how did she go there? And I'm like, I'm looking at these chord progressions, and I'm like, oh my God. And then the more I played with her, the more I realized, no, Rickie is a genius songwriter.
Yes.
And I just, would love to honor her and to, totally embrace her in on the journey we're on this evening, as a sister, as a comrade, as a partner, and as a peer. Being at one with her whenever she allows me to be, in her company. I'm so grateful to be there. So thank you very much, RickieBb. Oh, RickieB, I love you.
You got notes.
Right, you're going to get notes.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Let's weave that in, because the idea, I'm still like hearing surrender into the fire. If I talk about it too much, I'm going to start crying. I'm already crying on the inside. And there are many times that we have to surrender to the fire. And I know with Rickie's song, desire. Yes, it's like Rickie's song. Let your
heart's desire. I'm probably gonna.
Go ahead.
I'm too emotional to get it correctly. Just to let your heart's desire dissolve into this flame of love.
Oh, yeah.
Are those the lyrics? Is that the lyrics? Let your heart's desire dissolve into this flame of love. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah.
May not be the correct lyric. You're on the feed, Rickie, but let it wash away. Let it just dissolve and burn away everything that. What she said, all that you learned, all that you all that you carried, all of this stuff, and then rise from the ashes.
Yes,
like the phoenix does.
Yes.
And we do that every
the
day anyway. We just don't realize that we're doing it every single day. And I love that about
yes.
Rickie. I love that about your music, that you put.
Well, let's. You're talking about the music because I want to. This is what I want to tie in here, talking about Rickie and the music and surrendering to the fire and rising. I remember driving and listening to the Agape Choir CD. God will work through an open heart, and I'm driving, I'm crying because I was in a place where I feel like I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I didn't say heck. I used another word. Just like
Heaven.
what is
I know
going
you said
on?
heaven.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that fancy either. Sounds like flip flop. But it was like just crying because I'm like, God, I feel like I'm meditating, I'm doing everything, but I still feel like I'm stuck. But the songs, the music, the voices of the choir were like massaging my back and saying, just move closer to the fire. But it's too hot. It's okay. Stay here for a minute. And I don't remember the first time I heard Rickie's song because at Hillside we played the song all the time. I remember the concert that they did, and that was just like next level. Do you all remember the first time you heard Rickie's song, or what it did to you based on when you remember the first time that you heard it? Well, what it did to you? Do you remember when you first heard it, and what it did to you on the inside? Oh, before you answer that question, while you think about it, Rickie just answered. Melt your heart's desire into the flame of love.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. It's like melt your. It's such a beautiful lyric. Your heart's desire. Mm-hmm. Like give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up into this flame of love. And as a result of it, can I shout a little bit up in here?
You can shout.
I am. I'm just sitting down while I'm doing it. I got goosebumps all over my body. It's like,
yes.
It's like, you know, you're not losing anything by giving up what you desire. You got to see that. Let your heart's desire melt into this flame of love, because it enriches it. I mean,
that's the trick, isn't it? We have this heart desire. We're praying enough. Oh, what was that? We're praying, we're affirming, we're visioning for this heart desire. But the invitation is like, give it all up.
Let it go.
Just give it up. Be ready.
Let it go.
But who would I be without it? You're not going to know. But when you get to the other side, you'll be glad you gave it up. It takes faith. You got to surrender.
Am I the only one that shouts up in here?
Rashid, go ahead.
Yeah, I know that's. I mean, that's really beautiful. And the thing is, you know, when you are in the company of people, of souls, of spirits that actually have.
Michael wrote that line. Michael Beckwith wrote that line.
Of surrendering to love, you see the genius, but your genius is reflected. Your genius is reflected and back at you.
Yeah,
because you're in the company of people that are you. Seeing Timmy McAfee in that room. And we first, I mean, he's a not on music. Are you losing me?
Yeah,
hello.
Your
I mean, it's consistent, but it's breaking
okay.
up.
Yeah, I said Tim McAfee room is on the stream as well.
Yes.
I mean, not only
So let me answer the question. So the question was, when was I first met music?
Hold on one second, Rashid. Hold on one second. One second, Lona. Okay. Rashid, I don't know what you did earlier, but maybe you
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we sound. Keep talking. Yes, it's better, but you're frozen on camera. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'm going to answer the question.
We'll come back to you, Rashid.
I first heard the first song I heard by Rickie was "In the Land of I Am." I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. I am, you know, all that about my great grandfathers and all of my ancestors, and just that in the land of I am more than I have been. I am more. And then on that same album is Radiant Faith is my friend today, and I see my life in a different way. I'm not excited.
Yes.
But I'm not crawling in despair. When I heard that lyric, I wanted to scream. I probably did scream because I've gone through that thing in my life where I'm like, boom, I'm all the way up here. And then there are other times when I'm like, nobody else has felt that way. I thought that you're crawling in despair. M. Shatir Monroe introduced me to Rickie Byars. And In the Land of I Am was the first song that I heard. I got that album and I played it over and over and over and over and over again. And I knew about Michael at that time. And M. Shatir says, but Lona, no. The glue is RickieBb. You need to drill down into her. And so I started to explore other music by her. I played the mess out of that album, so much so that a friend of mine. Anyway, so that's how I first knew about her music through going through a retreat at Cool Font that was given by Sacred Space, where Indigenous paths meet. I'm giving them credit for it. And M. Shatir Monroe introduced me to RickieBb with the album, which is still, it's a classic to this day. If you don't have it, go and pick up In the Land of I Am. And every single song on there will speak to you and your heart with healing. And that's what her music does. You know,
yes.
Rickie is in a note there because it was written by God.
Yes, yes. And we talk about the songs because, you know, as I listen to you, I feel like Rickie taps into the echoes of humanity. And she hears our cry, she hears our prayer, she hears a heart desire, and she puts into music. My sister, who would say she's a Christian, was telling me how there were churches in Nigeria that were singing In the Land of I Am. I was like, what? Because I have I'm like, wait a minute, because I don't know if they really know what they're singing, but she's like, oh yeah, they're singing.
Oh yes, they do.
But when you download truth, when you download truth, it touches everybody. It's beyond label, it's beyond religion, it's beyond spirituality, metaphysics, new age, whatever. Truth transcends all the labels, and that's the beauty of listening.
I want to nominate her for a Grammy.
she might first say thank you, but then she might go, no, it's okay. So Rashid, before you went, we were talking about, you know, the question was, do you remember the first song you heard and the impact that it had on you?
Rickie.
Yes.
Of Rickie, any of Rickie's songs?
Yeah, do you remember the first one you heard?
Oh my gosh, I have to be honest with you. It was more a series of songs that I heard that impacted me, and I remember first attending Agape when I was when it was on Olympic Boulevard. I think that's Culver City, and I was so moved by listening to Rickie's music. I was like, wow, what is that? I need some more of that, you know. And so I went on the long journey of Agape, moving from Fairmont Hotel to West Hotel, from all over the place until it eventually got to Slauson, where Buckingham Palace, where I really felt now I'm ready to actually surrender to what is so dear to my heart and the community that became so important to my my livelihood and my sustenance in so many ways. And so I'm so grateful to have been there. Yes.
Rickie said, "Ooh, this is like a party about me, Lord. I'm in heaven."
Yes. You know, the thing is, I love talking about Rickie when she's not talking because she always overpowers me. So
I'm calling a whistle on that, Rickie.
So Rickie knows exactly what I'm talking about. I love you, Rickie. Bye.
But you know what, Rashid? She loves you as well. But you know you won't be saying nothing this next Sunday devotional. Your mic is shut down. And I was going to ask the listeners to share their story of if they remembered the first song and the songs that made an impact. And some of them have been doing it in the land of I am, Janice said, and I saw it fade into God. And, I want to play this song because I'm not sure, but this was coming to my memory right now on a feeling level. Intuitively, I feel like this is the first one that I heard, and it is I Release, I Let Go. And this is Rob McDonald putting a special sauce on it. And we're going to play that. We're not going to play all of it. And we're going to get ready to release the conversation. And thank you all. So I'll be quiet. The music is playing because Rickie will tell me, shut up.
Yeah.
In my life, I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say you are struggling just to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That one always hits. Right?
We having church. We having a sacred.
Wow, I can't believe how amazing that sounds, man. You know, that's the live version. It's so amazing to hear it in a different context. Wow.
Isn't it fabulous? It every time, Rashid. Every single time, man. You guys be killing it on Sunday morning. Live.
Thank you.
I be telling in my show, I be telling people, look, this is a live performance. You got with world-class musicians. That's free. Just tune in. You know, and it always delivers. It always delivers. So I'm grateful for the Be-Hood, and I'm grateful for your part in it, and I'm grateful for Soul Fulfilling, and thank you so much for sharing this with me this evening.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Rashid?
Ade,
before we release the conversation.
For inviting me.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for inviting me and Rickie as well. I'm so grateful to have been part of this evening and this journey that we were on this evening.
Yes.
Love
Thank
you, Rashid.
both.
If we never see again, I'm always. You're Aries, right? Are you Aries or Leo?
Yes.
Aries.
I'm always rooting for you, boo. I know you're Aries, Ade. Are you Aries also?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Really? 3 Aries on the show?
Okay, I've got something else for you. I'm Aries rising, Aries moon, and I'm sun sign Aries. So I'm triple Aries.
Sun, Mercury, and Mars.
Yes.
Aries, me.
Yes.
I am sun and moon, and then Cancer rising.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what this means?
What?
I guess. Well, you know, when you were talking earlier, I wanted to say, Lona, are you an Aries? Because the things you were saying reminded me of me. But I think what this means is it takes 3 Aries to fit Rickie's shoes, who is a Libra. She's our opposite.
My moon is in Libra, boo. My moon is in Libra and it is exalted. The moon is exalted in Libra. My Venus is in Taurus, which is exalted in Taurus.
Oh my God!
And they needed that to hold me down with all those fire signs.
You could. You definitely. Have to. Add another dimension of astrology to this talk. Sometime in the near future. Are there, Rickie? Yeah.
Oh, Robin is on. Says she's a Aries too. I got this small reading that I prepared. It's called do it the right way, Lona.
Okay.
The medicine cards from the Lakota Nation.
I love those cards. Yeah, let's do that real quick.
I'm back. And the card that came up was the 4th card, and it's deer. And the key word is gentleness. Gentleness. Yes. It says, one day, Fawn heard Great Spirit calling to her from the top of Sacred Mountain. Fawn immediately started up the trail. She didn't know that a horrible demon guarded the way to Great Spirit's lodge. The demon was trying to keep all the beings of creation from connecting with the Great Spirit. He wanted all of Great Spirit's creatures to feel that Great Spirit didn't want to be disturbed. That would make the demon feel powerful and capable of causing them to fear him. Fawn was not at all frightened when she came upon the demon. This was curious, as the demon was the architect of all the ugly monsters that had ever been. The demon breathed fire and smoke and made disgusting sounds to frighten the fawn. Any normal creature would have fled or died on the spot from fear. Fawn, however, said gently to the demon, "Please let me pass. I'm on my way to see the Great Spirit." Fawn's eyes were filled with love and compassion for this oversized bully of a demon. The demon was astounded by Fawn's lack of fear. No matter how he tried, he could not frighten Fawn because her love had penetrated his hardened, ugly heart. And the poem says, "Dear so gentle and loving you are. The flower of kindness and embrace from afar. So. Gentleness.
I'm laughing at Rickie. Look. Say good night.
We went too far. And with that.
Okay.
So anyway, I want to thank you
Love
both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for
allowing me
saying
to
yes.
be.
Yes, Rickie will be back next week. Yes, Rickie will be back next week. Unfortunately, I'll be away, but Rickie will be here, and then I'll see you in about 2 weeks' time. It's been really, really just joyful, and I just invite everybody to trust yourself enough, trust the divine, and surrender your desire to the fire of love, and allow yourself to be made new. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you, and I thank God for you. Thank you, beautiful people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
listeners.
Let our joy be so triumphant that we reign.